So pushing about 9 months, 10 months full-time cross-country RV. I get asked pretty much the same question every single day. What states would you go back to? What states would you avoid? What states are the most expensive? What states are the cheapest? Well, I don't think there's an answer for that. That depends, well, the first part of the question, that depends on what you like, what you want to see, where you want to go, how much time you have. It depends. I mean, my opinion is just that, right? Like everybody else is on YouTube or on the road. It's an opinion. But we have spent a lot of money in a lot of different states. We've been to 13, 14 states. We're in Colorado right now. Hands down, it's a pretty clear line of expense, right? I hate to say it, but Illinois, Michigan, Iowa wasn't so bad, but we're hands down the most expensive. And Colorado. Colorado's not cheap, but it's a lot better than Illinois was or Michigan. Groceries are a little cheaper. Gas is quite a bit higher. New Mexico, food was real cheap, in my opinion. Fuel was a lot cheaper than in most states. Missouri was pretty cheap. You could get lodging, gas, food, stuff like that. Probably the cheapest. Missouri was probably the least inexpensive state that we went through. And we spent about a month and a half there, right before Christmas and Thanksgiving time. Oklahoma, a little more, but it seems that more north you go, the more expensive everything was. Especially Illinois. Illinois was a few coins more than most places, and the roads were absolutely horrible. The ones that we were on, absolutely horrible. If your trailer's not set up right, you're gonna get porpoising, you're gonna get some potholes. It's good times, man. It's life on the road. But Missouri was the cheapest. Texas wasn't bad. Texas was pretty fair. That's where we reside in Texas, so we know a little bit about northern Texas. I'm trying to think. Yeah, Missouri I think would be the cheapest so far, hands down. So, and beautiful. Missouri was beautiful. We took the Ozark River Scenic Way. I do not recommend that if you're new to towing. Don't do it, especially if you have a giant fifth wheel. And take it easy. Take it easy, especially when you're going through a little town called Eminence. There's Echo Bluff State Park. I mean, just beautiful, beautiful country. And I know the Ozarks technically aren't high enough to be mountains, but it's beautiful. I'm looking at the Rocky Mountains right now in Colorado, and it's two different worlds, right? But it's still beautiful. But the roads, a little trickier to drive. You're gonna go up some inclines, go down some pretty steep declines, and there's not much for guardrails, and the roads kind of twist and turn, and it scared me a few times. I'm not gonna lie. Anyone that towed across country and said they weren't nervous a couple times is either a fool or a liar in my book. And I hate to say that. You know, I'm sure there's people out there with 30 years of towing experience. I'm not talking about y'all. Not in the least. I learn a lot from you folks, and I appreciate your wisdom. But unless you have decent experience, I really would take it easy in Missouri and some of the back roads, especially in the fall. And you get a little bit of ice. It's not fun. But yeah, other than that, I'd say most southern states were a lot cheaper than northern states. That's my opinion. I'm not biased. I don't care. I'm not political. I mean, it is what it is. It's just from our experience, our checkbook, our balances say this. So, but Colorado's pricey, but you're in Colorado, right? You're looking at some of the most, in my opinion, some of the most beautiful sights that you could ever see. Towing was a little bit weird, kind of getting used to that in Colorado. Going over some passes towing, it's a little bit freaky, but it's really not that bad. The infrastructure here is made for it. I mean, there's semis one after another going over and under and sideways and byways on these passes. So, I mean, they're made. So a guy with a truck and camper is not really a big deal. But just use common sense, go slow, not too slow where you're disrupting traffic, follow the laws, but just be comfortable. Take your time. It's not a race. I don't care if a semi is behind you going 85 miles an hour. There's passing lanes. They don't like it. They can wait for a passing lane. Go what you feel comfortable at, right? So it's not too bad. I've been towing in Colorado and riding around for about a month between 9,500 feet and about 13,000 feet in elevation. So it's definitely takes some time to get used to. If you're not used to the altitude, you get a little dizzy, you get headaches. You know, that adds up when you're driving, right? All of us that have drove 13, 14 hours towing, that's long enough days. You don't need a headache to go with it, or trying to gasp for air, which you will do. So, you know, I'm a little bit overweight to say the least. I lost a lot of weight up here in Colorado, a ton. And I've only been here for a month, so it's wonderful. We're way in the woods, way in the bush, a little over an hour from the nearest town, so it's lots to do, lots of calories to burn. But just use common sense, drive slow. It's literally that easy. Just feel safe. You're not the only person that's been nervous towing through a mountain pass. I can promise you that. You're not the only person that's been scared. Don't use your brakes all the time. Use your transmission. Let your tow haul mode, let your computer in your truck, let it do its job. There's no reason to be stepping on the brakes and riding on the brakes for 6 miles downhill. You just cost yourself a bunch of money. Brakes aren't cheap. Not if you have to replace them all the time in Colorado. So, but other than that, it's been a great year. I have a wonderful partner. That's key. You have to have a good partner. If you're a couple and your partner, you have to get along, because there's going to be some bad days. There's going to be some long days. Stuff is going to break. Things are going to cost 30 times more than you thought all the time. That's part of life anywhere, especially on the road. You have to expect it. You know, if you're a lot of these people, I have the best of everything. It doesn't matter. It's still going to break. You're still going to have a bad day. So that's key. You have to get along with your partner. If you have a pet, that's going to add a lot of stress too. You know, that's going to make, you know, your drives from one place to another longer. You have to stop and let them out. It takes longer. It's like having a child in a car. We all know how that goes. But yeah, but by farthest, I'd say the southern states, they're a lot cheaper. And that's in my opinion. The farther north you go, the way more expensive everything gets. And I understand shipping and trucking, and I get it. You know, I get it completely. But if I was to do it over again, I wouldn't do anything different. You know, we cruised down the Mississippi River, this time in a vehicle and not a canoe, and took our time and seen a lot of stuff that we missed the last time. So I don't regret any of it. Would I go back to Illinois to spend time? Probably not. I mean, there's some beautiful parks in southern Illinois and on the Mississippi River. It's absolutely beautiful, but the roads are horrible and it's terribly expensive. From our experience. Yeah, Missouri. I could have stayed in Missouri for years. It's absolutely beautiful. You know, one little road to another, the Civil War history, I mean, it just, everything adds up. It's a beautiful, beautiful state. People are wonderful there. Texas, same thing. Oklahoma, New Mexico. It's all been wonderful. So we're going to spend a few months here in Colorado. I want to see as much as I can see. And we're probably going to head up to Wyoming for a little while and then back down south. We're going to check out Arizona and maybe Mexico. So we're going to have some pretty good videos coming up. I know I don't post as much as I should, but life on the road. I have lots of things to do. So keep watching and we'll keep you updated. I got lots of videos edited, ready to be put out. So thank you guys for staying tuned to my tiny little channel. And we'll see what's going on. I like to get down to Georgia. I got some friends down there. I'd love to see them and stuff like that this winter, but we'll see what happens. You know, it's life on the road. So God bless, stay safe, keep the ball on the hitch, and be safe, man.